2026 Australian Grand Prix looked like a perfect start of the season for Scuderia Ferrari. A lightning start from Charles Leclerc saw a high jump from 4th on the grid to leading at turn 1, immediately putting pressure on George Russell and Kimi Antonelli. For the first 10 laps, the race looked like classic Ferrari versus Mercedes battle, but by the end of the race, Mercedes celebrated a dominant 1-2 finish while Ferrari were left wondering what could have been done wrong. So, what exactly went wrong with Ferrari's strategy at Albert Park? Let's break it down. The race began perfectly for the Ferrari, and Leclerc had an incredible getaway and immediately took the lead into turn 1 ahead of Russell. Over the opening 9 laps, Leclerc and Russell traded the leads for 7 times, showing how closely matched cars were in the race. Ferrari also had another strong car in the mix with Lewis Hamilton running in top positions. At this stage, Ferrari were in the strongest strategic positions, leading the race with both drivers fighting for the front. One started from P4 and one started from P7, but everything changed on lap 11. The first virtual safety car. On lap 11, Isak Hadjar stopped on the track, triggering the first virtual safety car. This moment was crucial. Under a VSC, drivers can pit while losing less time than during normal racing conditions, and many teams immediately recognized the opportunity. Both Mercedes, Russell and Antonelli dived into the pits and switched onto hard tires. But Ferrari made the call to stay out. Team principal Frederic Vasseur later explained the reason. Ferrari expected another VSC later in the race and believed extending the stint would be optimal strategy. In other words, it was a calculated gamble, but it was gamble that didn't pay off. Second VSC and turning point. A second opportunity came soon after when Valtteri Bottas stopped his Cadillac F1 team car near the pit entry. Another VSC deployed. This could have saved Ferrari's race. But unfortunately, just as the Ferraris approached the pit lane, the pit entry was closed, so marshals could move the stranded car. That meant Ferrari missed out both cheap pit stop opportunities. By the time Leclerc had finally pitted, on lap 26 it had to be done at a full racing speed.
At least one of us should have come in.
Over the radio, Lewis Hamilton immediately questioned the decision. He said, "At least one of us should have come in." Later in the race added, "We are not going to do that again." Meanwhile, Leclerc took a calmer approach. He defended the team's decision and he even said he had no regrets even though the gamble ultimately failed. Now we should discuss what could Ferrari have done better. Looking back, there were 3 possible alternatives Ferrari could have taken. First, the most obvious option, pit under the first VSC just like Mercedes did. That single call would likely have kept them in the fight for the win. Second, Ferrari could have split strategies between their drivers. One car would have pitted while the other stayed out to cover the both possibilities. Many strategists, including former F1 strategist Bernie Collins, suggested this would have been the safer approach early in the season. And third, Ferrari might have simply underestimated tire life. Teams expected multiple stops, but hard tires lasted for longer than predicted, allowing Mercedes to run 46 laps to the finish. That turned Ferrari's gamble into a massive disadvantage. In the end, the Mercedes strategy proved to be perfect. Russell took the win, Antonelli finished second, and Ferrari had to settle for the P3 and P4. Ferrari believed that another safety car would come while Mercedes took the opportunity that appeared. And in Formula 1, sometimes the race is decided by just one strategic moment. At the Albert Park, the moment came under the VSC and Ferrari missed.